Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Coach Jeff. Today we have a coaching email from a guy whose ex-girlfriend was acting hot and cold, and although her behavior is pretty turbulent, he still misses her and wonders if she's going to come back. But before I get into the email, please hit subscribe for more dating and relationship advice on real life scenarios just like this. And if you need one-on-one coaching, check out the description for more details. So I'm just going to jump right into the email here. He says, "Hey coach, I had a girl and we were together for 8 months. She was a virgin when we met, and long story short, towards the end, I was needy and approval seeking and she broke it off." Right, so this is a good example for you guys. Like, he seems pretty aware of it, but just right off the top, if you act needy and approval seeking and basically looking for a validation, that attraction level is going to drop really, really quick to the point where 8 months in, this girl broke it off with him. He says, "Then, after a month, I called her up and we got back together for an extra month. That whole month, she was very hot and cold. Some days, she tells me I was the love of her life and showing me a 9 to 10 level of interest, and others, she wouldn't want to see me, of course. I was always available and chasing too, which didn't help." So, guys, you shouldn't be calling up a girl after she breaks up with you. Doesn't matter if it's a week, a month, 2 months, it doesn't matter. You shouldn't be calling her up and asking, "Hey, like, is it okay if I come back now? Like, what's the temperature?" You shouldn't be doing that at all. Like, a woman, when she breaks up with you, she clearly communicates that she doesn't value your time. So you have to respect yourself and your time. No matter how much it hurts, it doesn't matter. You can't go groveling back and checking the temperature after a little bit of time. It almost never works. In this guy's case, it did work for a little bit of time, but this is what will usually happen. Like, okay, she got back together with you for like that month, but your behavior stayed the same, acting needy. So essentially, it didn't work out. She's just gonna kind of hang around for that month, and then bam, she's gone again. What you need to do if she breaks up with you is tell her you don't agree if that's the case, and go into no contact and move on. And like I mentioned, his behavior obviously during that month didn't change from previously. He was still acting needy, seeking validation, and essentially her feelings of, yes, of course she still has feelings with you because it's obviously very raw, the breakup, and she was with you for that 8 months, so she's going to still have feelings for you, which is why she kind of jumped back in. But those feelings are fighting against your behavior essentially, because you're still acting approval seeking, you're still acting needy. So those feelings of, okay, she's like, I know I still like you, they're fighting against, wow, my attraction is becoming lower and lower again because he's still acting needy and approval seeking. And when you do that, it just comes off as extremely weak, and guys, you need to know it's going to push her away. Let me just read it some more here. He says, "By the end of the month, she broke up and I told her, call me if you change your mind, and she would call me 2 days later. But in that call, she told me that she wasn't so sure I told her to contact me when she is sure. So she contacted me 10 days later. I didn't answer the call since I was working, so she blocked me." I mean, blocking you because you didn't answer the call is a little bit of unhinged behavior on her part. But it's a good example, though, why you guys got to be a bit mysterious, right? Because if you're going to be at her beck and call when you first start to date, because you are so needy and because you're so available all the time, she is now conditioned to believe that you're always available. So in this case, she probably assumed you didn't pick up that call, so you're just being a total ass to her, you're doing it on purpose, and she immediately, conditioning strikes in, hey, he's available every other minute of the day, every other time we're together, he's not picking up this, he's doing it intentionally to hurt me, so she kind of loses her mind and blocks you right away and thinks you're ignoring her on purpose, and it set her off and made her mad, which isn't good, right? But you also kind of set up that behavior by being needy and extremely available during the time that you were together. So this is how she reacts. But it's important to see how she reacts too, because if that's kind of her reaction, even though your behavior caused it, that's not good either, right? It's very erratic and unpredictable. And yes, women are emotional, but this is kind of overly emotional, and she gets mad at you. So he says, "I didn't go chasing after she blocked me on WhatsApp and didn't even ask her why she did. 2 weeks later, she replies to my stories, and I did what's in 7 Principles to Get an Ex Back by Corey Wayne, and we hung out and hooked up." Corey Wayne is great. He says, "She gave me a letter that day that basically says I'm the best thing that's ever happened to her and how I was just a dream and dreams have to end and some dumb shit like that. I didn't react when I read it, and she left and didn't call or text." So it sounds like her behavior is very, very inconsistent and all over the place. Maybe it's because she was a virgin when she met you and you guys had that connection and you guys have slept together, so now her feelings are really wild because you're kind of her first. So that connection that you have is very close, so this is causing her behavior to be a little erratic. But her behavior is extremely hot and cold and seems pretty unstable, and those are red flags you want to watch because being in a relationship is hard enough as it is. You don't need these kind of red flags approaching you all the time, and this is how she's going to handle situations. And, like I said, it is work to have a girlfriend. Let's not play around and say just because you know all these concepts it's going to be easy. No, you have to be consistent and it is work. But if it's made harder, you should want peace and as drama free as possible. And this kind of behavior on her part's not going to fulfill that. He says, 5 days later, she called me and told me that 5 days later, she called and told me that she showed up in my MMA gym, her friend works there, and didn't see me. That was the only day I didn't go. So I told her to come over, and she said, it's best that we don't see each other. So I told her to give me a call if she changed her mind. Minutes later, she replied to my story asking about a girl that was modeling for my business because I knew her personally and she knew that this girl liked me. And after I answered, she removed me from all social media. So yeah, this girl's all over the place, right? Like there's a high degree of insecurity and obviously a high degree of immaturity going on her part. And you were kind of at the end of a yo-yo and she's just, her emotions are throwing you all over the place based on what you say. She blocked you before, she unblocks you. You tell her you know this girl that I guess you know her, you're friends with her, she works for your gym or does modeling for your gym, whatever the case may be. And immediately, I guess because she's probably good looking, immediately you say you know her and bam, she again starts acting like this. So yeah, you can do all you can right, but the idea is to understand how she reacts. And in this case, you're doing things correctly. Like you kind of didn't contact her, you went into no contact and let her be. And you just kind of answered her when she contacted you about this girl, and again, she loses it. So very unpredictable. It's not great behavior on her part. He says, I'm not giving her any reaction. It's been 2 weeks, and it's been 6 weeks since the initial breakup. I'm living my purpose, training and working hard every day. I feel like I'm doing everything right, and I'm also talking to other women, but I still think about her every day. Do you think she's coming back? I think that her hooking up and being very loving on our date and her reaching out 4 times mean that her interest is definitely still high enough. What do you think? Do I honestly think she'll come back? She might. I mean, who knows? She's been hot and cold, and yeah, she'll probably unblock you again and message you at some point if she hasn't already in between the time you sending the email and me recording this. But she seems pretty erratic and a bit out there, which is also means she might be a bit crazier and better in bed, and maybe that's why you miss her. But I would just continue to date other women. Like you said, you're focusing on all that stuff. You're focusing on your business, you're training and working very hard. That's what's important, man. Like all that stuff is amazing on your part. So if she reaches out, you can decide what you want to do, but I would be, in my opinion, I would be cautious and because she seems quite insecure and her behavior is very unpredictable. So maybe see her on a friends with benefits kind of situation, or just, maybe date her, but nothing very serious, because you got to pay attention to what's going on with her reactions, and I don't know if that's something you want to deal with long term. So, I mean, if you continue dating other women, there's a high percentage chance you're going to cross somebody who's great, especially because you're doing all the things right. So, yeah, I get it. You miss her. That's emotion, and that's fine. But you got to think about what's going to happen if you get into something long term with her, because she's acting very erratic and very insecure. But you like I said, date other women. You're doing amazing things. You're probably going to meet somebody. High chance you're going to meet somebody who doesn't react that way, and you're going to hope she keeps you blocked forever because you met this other person. So there's plenty of women out there, and you're doing a lot of the right things here. So understand where you went wrong with the neediness and availability. Like, that is a no-no. Clean that up for the next woman you start dating, and you're going to be in good shape. You're going to have a lot of success in that sense. And if you keep the neediness, keep the availability down, and just temper that and understand how women's attraction is raised, you're going to have good success down the line. So just keep that up, and you got to have the discipline to do it though. But yeah, you're in a good spot. I think you've learned from your lessons, and guys, you have to understand you cannot be too available and too needy or needy at all. It's just going to drive the woman's attraction away. And in this case, what he did right was not reacting to a lot of her erratic behavior, like the blocking and back and forth. He did a good job of not reacting to that. But again, she comes back, unblocks, and kind of starts up the behavior again. So these are the red flags that you get to see when you're disciplined and prove no contact works. Because now you can see how she acts, and he goes, that's something I really want to deal with. You're focusing on your gym, you're focusing on working hard in your business, good things are going to come your way, man. So if you have a dating or relationship problem and you want my help, please send an email to questions@elevatemyrelationships.com, and I may make a video out of your scenario to help you along with others. Check out the description of this video as well for coaching options. And finally, please hit the like and subscribe to my channel for more advice on real life scenarios just like this to help you along in your dating world. I'll see you guys next time.